Well, everybody, that one wasn't too bad. It's either my computer or the stupid YouTube is having problems um, getting the webcam up. I don't know what the hell's going on. Guess what? Welcome to Psycho's Platters, episode 50. That's right, we've made it 50 episodes. I looked back really quick to discover that I started Psycho's Platters. Originally, it was called Psycho's Platters in a CD back on August 27, 2012. And here we are about a year and a half later, and we're still doing this, making 50 episodes. All right, so I'm hoping that this stupid YouTube thing is going to keep going instead of clipping me off like it did last week. That pissed me off to no end. So we shall see. Of course, fueled by coffee. I wish Dunkin' Donuts had sponsored me. Then it would be worth the trip. Hint, hint. We finally got our one here in Northwest Arkansas. I go from time to time. Yay. Okay, so, like I said, 50 episodes. What do we start off with? Well, I got myself a decent, really decent find. In my opinion, it's going to be over 3 episodes. That's how good this stuff was for me anyway. But let's talk about something really quick. Last week, 50th anniversary of these guys coming to America. Yeah, my mom went off and sent me this from Chicago, from Parade Magazine. It's, of course, them on the first Ed Sullivan show. Welcome to the show. It's 4 young lads from Liverpool. Yeah, that almost sounds like Johnny Carson mixed with Ed Sullivan. But still, how about this, though? This one's kind of weird. Ringo doesn't look quite thrilled. He looks bored. The rest of them are just sitting here going, oh, what's going on? And Ringo's like, oh, God, what's going on over the side of the stage? Also, in the travel section, which I thought is kind of cool, and yeah, I'm going to admit, I'm a sucker. I'll probably end up, before I die, hopefully, to go to the Beatles Liverpool. That's right. It goes off and it mentions a bunch of sites in here. I mean, for me, yeah, okay, fine. I'm going to probably end up taking one of those touristy things, but I do want to get off the beaten path when I get there, and I want to hit up all the record shops. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? As far as for Beatles stuff is concerned, let me give you a brief story. Short, a brief story? Okay. I started actually collecting fiercely around 1979. I don't know why I always started collecting things a year before big stuff happens. Like I said, I started collecting in like summer, fall of 79. Lennon gets killed in 80. For Elvis, believe it or not, I started collecting in 76, and well, he died in 77. So I don't know, but by the time I was 12, I appreciated it very much. The sounds were wonderful. And you know what? Everybody's right, it was a game changer. The Beatles were a game changer. If you didn't have the Beatles in the rock and roll scene at that time in February '64, the landscape of music, I think, would not even be close to what it is today. Seriously. There's a lot of people I know that love the Beatles like me, a.k.a. Kathy Emmer, Ronnie Dark, a few other ones. Yeah, I mentioned your names. But there's also a few other ones that just never got it. They never understood. Well, you know what? That's your prerogative. But guess what? Chances are that at least 50 to 75% of the bands and the music that you do love got derived back from the Beatles sound back in '64. America obviously needed some well tonic per se, of course, after not even 90 days before Kennedy was assassinated. Our country was, and you know what, to tell you the truth, so was the musical landscape. After Buddy Holly's plane crash, with Big Bopper and Valens, I mean, sure, you had the old schoolers, but Chuck Berry, he went to jail. There wasn't really much around. Everything was pretty quiet. It ended up being the land of teen idols, at least till what, about '62, when it was surf music. No offense, I'd rather listen to Beach Boys over Bobby Rydell any day. That's just me. But, so the Beatles were a big game changer, and who would have thunk that, combined with the huge promotional blitz of Capitol Records and the DJs. I mean, the funny part about it is that, if I remember correctly, technically the first DJ to play a Beatle record was Dick Biondi from WLS Disc Jockey, And he did it, though, back in the spring of '63, so he even knew that that this sound was cool enough to play on the radio, even though back in the spring of '63 it didn't do squat. But I'm glad. I really wish I could meet one of them, or even Pete. Yeah, I know Pete's crabby. Pete Best is crabby sometimes. That's what I'm hearing. But you know what? You got to let it go, Pete. It's 52 years ago. But I still love you anyway. Closest Beatle-related people I ever met, I met 3. Well, let's see. Actually, what was it? I was in the same room as Yoko Ono. I know, for some of you it don't count, but guess what? She's in there. She's in the Beatle legacy, whether you like it or not. But so I was in the same room with her in a art gallery presentation at Woodfield Mall in Schaumburg, Illinois, back in the late '80s. She actually brought some of Lennon's Bag 1 type art, and I got to see that. And I wish I could find the postcards I bought from that time period. But she was flanked by 2 big-ass security guards. Nobody was going to get near her that day. Nobody. So, like I said, I was like within, I don't know, 10 feet away from her. The Beatles' original manager, Sam Leach, yeah, he was actually there before Brian Epstein. Wrote a book. I think it's called Birth of the Beatles. I've got it somewhere. He signed it for me. Met him. Pictures on Facebook. Really cool. And then lastly, I met Lawrence Juber, who was a guitar player in the last incarnation of Wings. Really nice guy. Go get his solo stuff. He does beautiful guitar work. So that's my Beatle-related people. So, okay, onward and upward. I do have some Beatle stuff mixed in here, but so I ended up getting a super decent find. Now, I wish I could tell you I've got all this stuff for $1 a piece, but I'd be lying. But let's just say that I picked up this stuff way under market value. I mean, a deal was cut. It was beautiful. And like I said, I've got this over 3 episodes. Let's just start off right off the bat, shall we? I'll try to get these out of the plastic sleeves because I know it'll glare on the set here. But right off the bat, I'm a huge fan of picture discs. I never had this one in my collection. This is Hearts Magazine, still in the shrink. Special numbered picture disc back in 1978. They only made 100,000 of these. I got 43,731. See if I can get it out here so you can see it. It's basically the same cover on both sides. It's the magazine cover. Really nice on that one. Okay, like I said, I was bringing up Beatle-related stuff here. How about this? I finally got a decent copy of this. For whatever reason, it's really hard to find a really good copy of John Lennon's Walls and Bridges from 1974. The cover is pretty cool. You actually can. I'm not going to really, it's in 3 parts though. That's part of the reason. Well, actually, excuse me. It's, I don't know if I can get it out here, but it's kind of funny. You open the flaps and it looks like that, which is kind of funny. I actually like this album. The big hit, of course, was Whatever Gets You Through the Night and Number 9 Dream. But I'll show you what this comes with. Your inner sleeve looks like that. I like the art and the pictures. It's kind of neat. And of course, mint condition, by the way, on this. Old school Apple. Okay. And it also came with the photo lyric book, which I thought was really cool. I heard that it came with one of these, but I have never physically seen it. I know, I'm sorry. It's lyrics with drawings from when he was a kid. In fact, up on the front cover, it says June 1952, age 11. So, I mean, he was... And then lastly, him with multiple sunglasses on his head. So, I think that one was pretty cool. I was pretty happy about that. Getting a decent one of this finally after all these years. This next one, I still can't believe I found this. I had an original copy of this. Do not ask me if it was mono or stereo back then. I cannot remember. I had a copy of this, though, in the 80s. Somebody stole it out of my collection. They did. So to be able to say that Psyko now has a copy of Satanic Majesty's Request in the 3D cover from the Stones. This one is in stereo, by the way. I was very, very happy. Here's your gatefold. Ronnie played this album and turned me on. Here's also the original sleeve, of course, to the Citadel and a few other ones. This one here, I'm going to say this is a near mint copy. Pretty close, I'll tell you that. Beautiful stuff on the old school London in stereo. This one was kind of funny. This is an original press. Wind in the Willows from 1968. Now, this one's in stereo, of course, but why is this band semi-significant? Anyone? Who was a member of this band back in 1968 and is pictured on this cover? I know, the graphics aren't really good today on this camera. It's pissing me off. Who said Deborah Harry from Blondie? Yeah, I heard that out there. That is correct. Deborah Harry from Blondie was a member of this band, and this is a gatefold too, but it pretty much has the lyric sleeve. I'd pull this sucker out, but it's a little hard to get out, but it is a near mint condition copy on Rainbow Capital, okay? So I could not get over that, and I can't wait to listen to this, but I know roughly that this thing, I think, books for $100. Yeah, I barely paid not even a tenth of that. So, okay, back to picture discs. I didn't even know they made a picture disc for this. Blondie's Parallel Lines. That's right. I like this one, actually. Pretty cool. This is the same album, of course, that is hanging on the telephone one way or another. Heart of Glass. Bunch of other ones. Let's see here if I can pull this out. Here she is licking the record. I said licking the record. And the back, of course, is the band. This one says it was limited edition, so I'm gonna take their word for this. But and by the way, these picture discs are in really great shape from what I could see anyway. But like I said, I've never seen this one before. I love it. Just like Dr. Evil, we have created the Alan Parsons Project. I know, that was crappy. But I have wanted a copy of this for quite some time, and I know you're not going to see the graphics really well on this, okay? I finally got a copy of Stereonomy. Stereonomy was like from '86, if I remember correctly, but you got a red opaque sleeve, which, by the way, has got a sticker on the back. It says, the Alan Parsons Project, featuring the hits Limelight and The Real World on Arista. But look at the funky graphics. It pops out, and the back shows like this too. But I mean, it's got the lyrics on the back here. But now, who was involved in this one? Gary Brooker from Procol Harum. All right, he sings on a track. Yeah, I can't tell if there's anybody else really. But like I said, this one's on Arista, and it's got a picture label, and it's really kind of cool. I've wanted a copy of this for quite some time, so I'm glad finally that I was able to get a hold of that. I didn't do it right. Because I do like the Parsons. In fact, I have an address. I'm going to try to send some stuff. Not this one, because probably this one wouldn't come out really well on a Sharpie. But I'm going to end up sending him some stuff. He lives in Florida, I'm told. This one, really, really cool. I have never seen this one before. There's a slight, the cover needs to be slightly glued, but the record's in mint condition. The Beatles' greatest on German EMI Odeon. Yes! Finally, I got myself a German press. Let me see if I can pull this out carefully. Blue Label Odeon. It is in mint condition. Yes. It's actually, I think this might be like my first import. I think. I'm not entirely sure. Or at least, well, no, I take that back because I had the, what? I had the Magical Mystery Tour EP on Parlophone. This one kind of cool. I like this. I've never seen this before. I had to grab it. Unfortunately, it was one of the early exploitation releases for Jimi Hendrix. This one put out in late 67, early 68. Get that feeling. Jimi Hendrix plays, Curtis Knight sings. The back, it looks like that. This is on, of course it's in stereo, Rainbow Capital. There is a couple, well, there's a couple slight marks on this. But I think some of it will come off in cleaning. But really nice on that one. There was a second one called Flashing. I would love to get a hold of that one too. And then I guess in '71 they did a twofer for that too. So that would be cool. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll save these two for last because these are a little more risque. Okay. Finally I had a copy of this, but I got a better copy of John Lennon's Imagine on Apple. Okay, beautiful stuff. Beautiful. Now, let me see if I can pull all of this out. A bunch of stuff came in here, and this is the fun part. Of course, you got a pictures. Your inner sleeve has got a bunch of pictures of different various people. Okay. I'm assuming, obviously, some of them look like people that are played on the album mixed with others as well. Okay? Lyric sleeve on one side. On the other side is who played on it. This one's a picture label. The front here is a picture of Lennon in glasses. And then you're back here. This is on a gray label, Apple, by the way. So the mint condition of the album is one of the reasons why I grabbed this. The second reason why I grabbed this is what was in here. Hang on a second. Okay. All right. The original picture that was included in this. If you can't see really well, it's John Lennon holding a sow's ears. In a, basically, you know, in a farmer's field, I guess. This was a total blatant spoof mixed, you know, I think it was a spoof. I don't think he meant anything ill will, but if you remember Paul McCartney's Ram album cover, Paul McCartney's holding the horns of the ram. So Lennon thought he'd hold ears of a sow. Also, let me see if I can do this here. Oop, wait a minute. Jesus, this thing's triple fold. I didn't know that. A lovely poster. Yeah, I got the poster. I thought I heard this came with a poster years and years ago. I was so right. So I'm glad that I found a copy of this. Very, very pleased. One of my favorite Lennon albums is this. I couldn't pass it up. I just couldn't. Especially with the inserts. Now, the same place had a copy of the White Album, copy number 215,000, which would have been the lowest one I would have ever owned. I know, and you're like, well, you just bought 4 or 5 copies over the years. But I didn't get it because the covers were split and there wasn't anything there. All right. These two things are a little more risque, so bear with me, but I had to get them because I've been actually wanting these for quite a while. I'm a big Roxy Music fan, at least early stuff. So from 1974, I found the original cover to Country Life. Yeah, that's right. This is the original cover. As you can see, one's in bras and panties. The other one's covering up her you-know-what, and see-through panties as well. The front and the back cover. The front cover only lasted on the marketplace for, I want to say, 30 to 45 days. After that, could have been 2 months at the most. Then after that, they were told, guess what? You got to replace it. So they did, and they ended up just replacing it with the foliage that was behind them in the first place. And of course, this is on old school Atco, mint condition, but it was kind of, it's in an RCA Dynaplex sleeve. Not sure why, but there it is. So I was happy to have this one. Oh, wait a minute. What else was in here? Oh, okay. Oh, good. All right, the lyric sleeve was in here too. I don't know who stuck that in there then. Okay. All right. That's fine. I didn't know that was in there either. That's cool. So I got all the parts. All right. So this next one, I got to tell you, I've only ever seen... Get in there. I've only ever seen this one in books. And to find this, I saw it right away. I'm like, ah! And I'm like, I didn't say anything. From 1972, still sealed with a cutout drill hole in the corner and the $1.99 sticker still on it. Mom's Apple Pie. Now, I know you're like, so what? Some of you guys are going to say, so what? First of all, this is still sealed. For a nice 42-year-old album, this is beautiful. And no, I'm not opening it. I found out that this is on CD. Actually, there is... these guys are out of Warren, Ohio. This is where they're out of. This was put on the Brown Bag Records imprint, which was created and owned by Terry Knight. Now, does that name sound familiar to you? Anyone out there? Anyone? Who said that he was the manager of Grand Funk at one point or another? Very good. Not only that, he started out in the late 60s for Terry Knight and the Pack, which of course had Don Brewer and Mark Farner. Now, the back here, 10 people in this band. 10. I couldn't get over that. I am told that their sounds are similar to Chicago. That's what I'm hearing. So I know you're probably asking me, what's the whole big deal about this album cover? This album cover, well, it was banned. They actually, I know you can't see it real well because of the camera, and I'm sorry, but the lady looks old-timey. She's holding a pie. A slice of the pie is out of the pie. If you were to look closer at the slice of the pie, it is a picture of female genitalia. Yeah. How this even got away with in 72 is beyond me. I'm told this thing lasted on the marketplace, once again, I think it was a month or two. Could have been a little longer. But it got recalled, and a rarer cover came out where the piece of pie is covered up by a brick wall and barbed wire. How about that? And there's a window behind her head. I don't know if you can see it, but in the redone cover, there's police looking through the window. So I think it's kind of half funny, really. In the still sealed shape that this is in, it would go anywhere from about 80 to 100 for this. But like I said, it's kind of funny. Back in the marketplace for them in the 60s and 70s, you got away with a few things at least once. And that's one prime example right there. So, all right. I think this went really well. Like I said, this this is only the tip of the iceberg. I've got about 2 more episodes worth of this find that I'm going to show you guys. But you know what? I collect, obviously, to love and enjoy, and ever since August 27th of 2012, I've tried to, I don't know, I've tried to entertain and inform. I mean, that's what it's all about. I know some people out there probably go, oh, who the hell cares? He's a middle-aged man spouting off things. But, you know, that's just how it is. I don't know. Let's do some shout-outs really quick, because I know it's like 25.5 minutes here. A little, at least my camera didn't cut off on me yet. Wax Museum with Ronnie Dark, the best Sunday night show out there. Ronnie, look, I'm sorry. I don't know if it was my computer or the stream. I literally listened for 2 minutes last night. I couldn't get you. I don't know what happened. So I was a little bit pissed off about that too. Pissed off seems to be a word of mine today. Sorry, guys. Of course, so please like and subscribe. The man's growing. I want him to go, in the words of ZZ Top, he's bad. He's nationwide. Maybe even worldwide, too. That'd be kind of nice, wouldn't it? Mike Adams, Night Owl Lounge, right after Wax Museum with Ronnie Dark. Go like both of them on Facebook and listen every Sunday night. 6 to 9 p.m. Central Standard for Ronnie, 9 to 10 Central Standard for Mike Adams. This is Rock and Roll Radio is another one that I really love. I'm started to get to listen to that when I can after Ronnie's show. Their show goes 8 to 11 Central Standard. So go like them and subscribe on Facebook there too. Purple Flower Gang, which is a Monkees fan club. Love you guys too. You guys are fantastic. Treat me really well. Also, you love Kiss like I love Kiss, or even guess what? Hair metal, heavy metal in general. Please go like and subscribe on Facebook and YouTube. 3 Sides of the Coin. Spell out the word 3, not the number 3, okay? For that, subscribe to them on Facebook and YouTube. Michael, Mitch, and Tommy, you guys are great and hilarious at the same time. I enjoy every broadcast that you guys do. They also do another one called Dropping the Needle, where they talk about current musical topics and do occasional interviews as well. Always something to learn. They admit in their broadcast, this is our opinions. That's what it is. But boy, what entertaining and thought-provoking opinions they are in today's reflection of that classic music. So please like all of them. Shindig Magazine and Record Collector Magazine. I love you. You're over in the UK, and it's fantastic. This Yank here, I said Yank. This Yank here loves reading every month religiously. So, you know, check that out along with Classic Rock Magazine as well. All 3 great publications. All right, and once again, thank you, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, Ringo Starr, and yes, Pete Best, and Stu Sutcliffe, too. You can't forget them, and Brian Epstein, and all the other ones that have long gone. You all are a part of legacy and continue to be, and I'm glad you're here, and you made this 12-year-old kid's life a lot more livable and a lot more enjoyable. I love you all. Rock on. God bless. See you next week with more goodies. Like and subscribe me too, by the way. Thank you to my 88 subscribers. Over 8,000 views. Let's keep doing this, kids. I'd like to have 10,000 maybe by Easter. 10,000 views and 100 subscribers. I know you can do it.